you give the military life a chance. We get married. What was your first thought once you immerse yourself? Because when you used to come see me, like you used to come spend time together when I used to go to my promotions and things like that. You know, you always come to those. But when we got married and you were fully immersed into the culture and into the environment, what was your initial thought process?
Well, it's a lot to learn, you know. And I've have family members and or they're veterans as well, you know, in the military, but it doesn't really hit close to home until like, you know, you're either a spouse or you're a child of somebody in the military.
Yeah.
So having to learn basically like even when you talk, the language of how you talk or different, you know, ranks and what do you wear every day and you know when are you supposed to wear the blue one, you know,
the blue one. We love the blue one.
Yes. And you know, I feel like that the military lifestyle it is different, but you can also, if you want to learn about it and you want to be in it, then you can do it.
Hey, they didn't think I would do it, but I did it. Really having it, really winning. Was times that I thought I'd forever be sinning and spending whatever to stand on the business. But God bless the game, did it all but a sinning. All the shots they let off, but they ain't hitting. All the shots we let off, they ain't mentioned was hitting. Go ask why he's fighting them limping. Never change, I'm the same as just in me. The only thing changes the pay for my bill. Can't forget about the diamonds and chains on my pendant was starving, but now we each stay for a living. If we ever fell out, you was fake or we can switch sides, don't be standing on. But yet I'm the biggest, ain't changing my clique, rep to 6 disrespect and get put in that dick.
I won't let them change me. I remain.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Basement Club Podcast. In case you forgot, I am the NCO with the most, Philip Taylor, and the person I got in the studio with me today, she finally found some time to come talk to me, so I appreciate it. Military spouse, works at the Military Family Readiness Center, mother to PJ, wife to the NCO with the most. Please welcome to the stage, to the studio, Mrs. NCO with the most, Chelsy Taylor.
Thank you for having me.
How does it feel to finally be in front of the camera?
It feels great. You know, I'm happy I'm here. I'm ready to support you.
You know what? That's good. You know, you've seen me lug all this equipment and you know knocking stuff over, so it finally feels good to finally have you in front of camera and in front of the people.
Yes.
Cool. Let's get started. We're from Mississippi, right?
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, we grew up in two different parts of the city. For you growing up in Mississippi, in Columbus, like how was it for you and your family?
Well, I would say that my childhood and with my family, I feel like I had a great childhood.
Yeah.
I was always surrounded by family, so that's what I kind of remember the most. That, and of course, when being in the South is, you know, church.
Yeah.
As well. So that was a part of my upbringing too. But that's also led me to so many people that, you know, probably gonna watch this show. Mm-hmm. And then you know, it's just great to have them in our lives.
Going through your childhood, you know, from elementary to junior high, finally get to high school. What was it like for you through those, you know, critical periods of 13 and 14, 15? You're learning about the world and, you know, you learn about different things like that, you know, and being, you know, how it is in Columbus, you know, we're in a bubble. You know, how was it for you growing up in that bubble during those critical parts of your life?
I would say I felt kind of awkward especially like, you know, the 13, 14, 15 age is because you're just starting to basically get to know yourself, and you still trying to figure out who you want to be. I mean, even as a teenager, when you get even into high school, you still trying to figure out, like, well, who is Chelsea going to be?
Right.
You know, or who am I going to be in that case?
Right.
What do I want to accomplish in my life? What do I want to aspire to be as well? So those are the things that I was thinking about during those time periods. But I always knew I wanted to be successful in doing something, right? No matter really what it is, as long as it's helping people. I wanted to be married, and I wanted to have kids.
Okay.
So those are the things that I wanted.
Have you accomplished those 3 things that you set out to accomplish? You got 2 of them for sure.
Yes.
I know for sure you got 2. What about the third thing?
The third thing, I would say yes.
Okay.
I would say even what I do now, I feel like I would say all the jobs I have I've been through, you know, over the years, it's led me here. And then also I've enjoyed all of them. In every way, they're all different.
Right.
And but they mostly have to do with public health, which is honestly what I love to do.
I know your mom, right? And shout out to mom-in-law, Ma Dukes-in-law. I know your mother. What was it? Was she one of the reasons that made you want to stay in Columbus and go to the W? You know, because you could have went to State, could have went to Ole Miss, could have went to Southern. Why the W?
The W is because I love the nursing program there. And yes, it is closer to home. I've always been a mama girl, even growing up. So to me, like, family is everything, but also I wanted to be close. And then too, that may have been a little bit of the anxiety being away from everyone, especially like my parents and my sisters as well.
Yeah.
You know, they the people I know, right? So expanding sometimes and with new experiences, yes, I'll probably be like, you know, of course, like Ole Miss wasn't too far away.
Right.
But at the same time, like, you know, I wouldn't be able to see my family. I can't just go drive 15 minutes to go see them or be home for dinner, right? And my mom, she's a wonderful cook. So, of course, like, who's going to deny going home for some dinner?
Hey. Can't lie about that. You go to the W. You start off in nursing. What made you make the switch from nursing to public health?
Well, I switched from nursing to public health in 2020.
Yeah.
A lot happened in 2020. Obviously, you know, COVID.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yes. And with COVID, it turned learning into, you know, more of online approach.
Yeah.
And with nursing, I think I was realizing at the beginning of that semester already, in January, before it even hit, that I don't think I want to do nursing anymore.
Yeah.
But I think COVID actually put a more of a, you know, I guess you could say like more of a catalyst for my decision. So now, in putting me back in 2020, I had to make a decision as well. Do I want to stay in nursing, or do I want to do something else?
Yeah.
And of course, you know, my dad also passed away in 2020 in October.
Yeah.
So that also played a role for me to just go on and do public health. But at the same time, I think for me, I like public health because of all the aspects of public health.
Right. Public
health is so broad.
Going back, you say you're a big family person. I am too, obviously. You have 3 sisters. You're the middle child.
Yes.
How is it being the middle child?
I would say middle child is probably kind of what it probably seems to be your typical middle child. I'm that.
Yeah.
Yes, when you think of those, whatever they say online, the middle child, I'm probably that too.
Expound on that. What do you mean?
Uh, so what I mean is, sometimes as the middle child, maybe, since you're stuck in the middle, parents don't try to, they don't get as much of attention as the others. That's what it kind of is. But also there's other things that go along with being the middle child as well. Like my sister, she is Jada. She is 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So, and then my older sister, Christian, she is 9 years, almost 10 years older than me.
Yep.
So at the same time, yes, I'm a middle child, but also when I was in elementary school, my older sister, Christian, she was graduating high school. Right. So she did, go to college. So I was also kind of also a bigger sister as well. For a brief time before, she moved back home. So I kind of know what it is like to be a bigger sister, and a little sister.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that Rue London didn't give you any love?
Yes, she did. Of course.
You hear this, right?
Of course she did. She's great at being a mom.
So I know you brought up 2020. A lot of things happened in 2020. Something else happened in 2020.
Oh yeah. We met in 2020.
We met in 2020.
Yes.
Did you foresee yourself being a military spouse when you went to college? Was that even in your realm of thinking?
No, it was not. I actually, now thinking back about it, my best friend, she used to say never, right? And that'd be Lydia, of course.
Shout out Lydia.
Yes. She said never say never. And that came true for me. I said, I think in high school, that I really never wanted to, and probably the beginning of college too, that I never really wanted to marry somebody in the military.
Why?
Probably stereotypes. But also, everything is online, but also you shouldn't listen to everything online as well, because it's not true.
Everything online is not true. That's correct.
Yes, it's not true. But also the lifestyle as well too. Being away from your spouse for a long period of time.
Yeah.
That can weigh on you a little bit.
Yeah. And
I wanted to basically have a spouse that I could be with all the time, Yeah. So that's what I was basing my thoughts about on that.
Yeah.
Yes. What? What?
Whew, so you give the military life a chance. We get married. What was your first thought once you immerse yourself? Because when you used to come see me, we used to come spend time together when I used to go to my promotions and things like that. You always come to those. But when we got married and you were fully immersed into the culture and into the environment, what was your initial thought process?
Well, it's a lot to learn, and I've have family members or they're veterans as well, in the military, but it doesn't really hit close to home until you're either a spouse or you're a child of somebody in the military.
Yeah.
So having to learn, basically, even when you talk, the language of how you talk, or different, ranks, and what do you wear every day, and when are you supposed to wear the blue one?
Yeah.
The
blue one. We love the blue one.
Yes. And I feel like that the military lifestyle it is different.
Yeah.
But you can also, if you want to learn about it,
Yeah.
and you want to be in it, then you can do it.
Did you find it? I guess did you find it difficult to embrace it? Because I know a lot of people, you know, when they get married to a military spouse, you know, they don't want to embrace it, and they kind of just sit there and kind of, I don't want to say suffer, but they sulk and, you know, they complain, right? Yeah. Like, at what point were you like, okay, just let me go ahead and let me embrace it and just let me dive?
Well, you know, I think I decided that probably when I met you as well, because, you know, I feel like if you're going to marry somebody in the military, even when you're dating them, you need to make a mental decision that this is what you're deciding to do with them. You know, you're going to take on those sacrifices as well. So putting yourself in that mindset already, even before you get married, is a great idea. And then also, I would say after probably when I got married, well, when we got married, of course, and I moved there with you, of course, that's like a new place.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody there,
Mm-hmm.
but the people there and the people that you knew,
Yeah.
I feel like they made me feel welcome, and that's a big part of it. With the military community, it comes, you know, you get to know people,
Right.
new people, and to have people who are so welcoming and invite you into, you know, their house and just share like knowledge with you as well, and, you know, invite you to things and to make you feel more welcome. That really helps.
Yeah.
It really does.
You've been to USAFA, the academy, which was our first base together. Now we're here at Hanscom. Which one has been your favorite base so far?
Oh wow, that's a tricky question, because I feel like we were in different, you know, basically PJ, he was like a baby. We were in USAFA, and I was a stay-at-home mom with him there.
Yeah.
For most of the duration, right?
Yeah.
And then I got a job before we moved.
Yeah.
A little bit before.
Yeah.
But mostly I spent most of the time at home with him. So now, when I think about Hanscom here, you know, he's in daycare, and then I'm able to work as well here, and kind of since he's older, explore and probably get more into my career that I kind of would like to now that he is a little bit older. So I would say I like both. I would say I do not like the traffic here, if anything.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Yes. But in Colorado, I would say it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
If you really like nature, then I would say Colorado. But I may not like the city life, but I like the small towns as well too.
Yeah.
I think that's what I like most, and because you kind of get a little bit of both here.
Yeah.
And I think I like my job here as well too. And to see PJ as a toddler running around, you know, and just being his cute little self.
Yeah, I wonder what side he gets that from. So, was there a person that you looked up to for inspiration or advice? Like, who was that person for you when you first got into being a military spouse?
I would say I probably have two people, right?
Okay.
So when we were in Colorado, Miss Clark, she was probably one of the people that that made me feel the most welcome there. And then I would say your mentor wife as well too.
Oh, Charity.
Yes.
Shout
yes.
out Charity and Justin.
She any questions that I had, she always was welcome to answer. So that made me feel great too, because she's a military spouse as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
So just talking with them and getting to know them as well as military spouses and how they deal with what our life is like.
Right.
Is kind of it's great.
The experience that you got, being a stay-at-home mom, immersing yourself in the military culture, how has that set you up to be the person that you are for the MFRC or the Military Family Readiness Center? Like, how were you able to take those experiences and translate that to what you're doing right now?
Well, I would say my experiences over my jobs that I've had previously it's helped me. Well, firstly, it's just the joy of helping people. Right. Like in public health or when you are doing more like social services.
Yeah.
It's not about the money, right?
Right.
But it's about the people.
Right.
That's who we're here to serve is the people.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this case, serving the military community is what I do, and just honestly, the knowing that you're helping individuals with whatever they need, right?
Yeah.
That's the most rewarding thing about it.
If you could tell Chelsy before she got married and before she jumped into this crazy life, what advice would you tell that Chelsy that you know now?
You put me on the spot.
I am. I agree.
So I would say that life is what you make it. Of course, being, a military spouse, it's going to come with its challenges.
Right.
But life is what you make it.
Right.
If you go into something with a mindset that, or a negative mindset,
right.
I would say, well, you're going to get negative experiences, right?
Yep.
And if you go into something with a positive mindset and that, I'm here to support you as well, yep. as your wife, and help you along with your career as well too, because I want you to be successful. Mm-hmm. Just like with the podcast as well too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then it's what you get out of it. Right. So I'm hoping that I think Chelsy probably in probably like 2019.
Yeah.
She'd probably be amazed of where she's at now, because I didn't think I'd probably be here, right?
Yeah.
and you get to enjoy all of these experiences as well. Of course, you move, pretty,
a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Pretty frequently. Yeah.
Yeah. But all of these experiences as well, being in Colorado, being here, you get to see new people, new culture as well too, and that's amazing.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Thank you for stopping by the studio. I really appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Having a conversation with me and my people. Thank you for gracing us with your wonderful presence.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a wrap.